Hello everyone! In this lesson, we'll continue talking about the various transition options that we have. So in the previous lessons, we learned that the transition makes the change in a specific CSS property occur smoothly over a specific value of time. But can we use the transition on more than one property? Meaning, can we make more than one property change smoothly? Well, the answer is yes. Here in my CSS, I'll go right here and add color, black. So when I hover over the button, I want the background color to change from blue to green, and the text color to change from white to black. Now let's view this in the browser. I'll hover over the button and you'll see that the text color changes fast with no transition. So how can we apply the transition to it? It's so easy. Back to our CSS. I'll go right here and add a space, then another transition property, which is the color, of course. And now, when I go back to the browser and hover over the button, you can see that the text color changes smoothly along with the background color. And we can really extend this, meaning we can change as many properties as we want. So, for example, let's go to our CSS. And I also want to change the width of the button to, let's say, 600 pixels when I hover over it. And I'll go up here and add space, then width to make it change smoothly. And when I go to the browser and hover over the button, you can see that everything is changing together nicely. And in case you need to change many properties, let's say 5 or 6, and you think that it'll be hard to write all of them here, you can simply remove them and add the keyword all. By doing this, all the properties will be included in the transition. So let's see that. You can see nothing changes. Great! Now we've learned all the CSS transitions properties that we can work with. But there is a shorthand property that we can use to mix all of them in one single line, and it's just called transition. So I'll remove these two lines, and I will add transition, then the transition property right here. I'll transition the background only, then a space, and the transition duration of 3 seconds. Those are enough for the transition to occur, but if you want to add the other properties, then add another space, and add the transition timing function. Let's say ease in out. Another space, and the transition delay at the end. Let's say just 1 second. And when we view that in the browser, you can see when I hover over the button, it will wait 1 second, then start the change in the background color over 3 seconds. And again, we can choose more than one property. To add more than one property in this short method, we use a comma to separate the various properties. So I'll go right here and add a comma. Then I will add the other property I want to change, which is the color. Then the transition duration. Let's say 2 seconds this time. And then the transition timing function. Let's say ease. And finally, the transition duration. Now, we want to do something cool here. We want the change in the text color to start after the change in the background color finishes. So we should add a transition duration of 4 seconds, 3 for the background transition itself, and 1 for its delay. So back to the browser. I will hover over the button and you'll see that the background color changes, and then after that, the text color begins to change. And of course, we can add other properties. So I'll go back to our CSS and go right here, remove this new width, and add a new property. Let's say border radius. 50%, so the border radius will change as well. And then I'll go up here and include this in the transition. And add a transition duration of 4 seconds, then ease out for the transition timing function, and then 6 seconds for the transition duration, so it'll start after the first two properties finish. So when I go back to the browser and hover over the button, you can see the background will change, then the text color, and finally, the border radius. And of course, we can use the keyword all if we want to just animate all the properties together. I'll remove all of this and just say all. Then the transition duration of 3 seconds, and then ease in. And finally, the transition delay of 2 seconds. And when we view that in the browser, you can see all the properties are changing with each other. But did you notice? Now we can't control the transition delay like we could in the previous method because all the properties are now starting and ending together. So, that's it for this lesson, and I will see you in the next one.
Please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified with my latest videos and updates.